What's up? Hey, yo, look, what's up? This is Whiskey Wonder. I'm hitting y'all with like another review. I just did one last night. I think the last one I did was the Glendronach, whatever, Scotch. I did the 12-year. I reviewed the 12-year, and then I reviewed the peated version of that, I guess, 12-year. But today, see those bottles, those bottles were like 60 with tax, like 65 bucks a piece. One of them was gifted, so was gifted to me, so it saved me a ton. But I have been holding on to a very small bottle. Not necessarily a small bottle, but like I've been holding on to like one pour of a bottle that I bought 2 weeks ago. Roughly, yeah, 2 weeks ago I bought this bottle. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna review it. But before I review it, let me taste it. And so I tasted it, and then I tasted it again, and then I tasted it again, and then I tasted it again. It is a bourbon, which means it's from Kentucky. Kentucky straight bourbon. And it's 101 proof. It's 50.5% alcohol by volume. It is a high rye mash bill. It's a good, inexpensive bottle. I had never tried it before. Whenever I would go into the store, you know, and I'm looking at all the bourbons on the shelves, I'm attracted to like labels. I like cool looking labels or cool looking bottles. This one does not have a cool looking label. It's a bit outdated, which is fine. I mean, from some of the ones that I've reviewed for you guys, like Fighting Cock and Old Granddad, you know, those labels are pretty outdated. There's nothing. I don't know. The Fighting Cock one is pretty cool looking, but I always passed it up, and I think I'm usually passed it up because A, the label was kind of, it had a little lackluster feel to it, but two, it just seemed like if I'm gonna get this, I may as well get Jim Beam or Jack Daniels or, you know, what's some other super cheap ones? You guys know, just the cheap ass bourbons. But because sometimes I feel like spoiling myself, and I'll go in and I'll spend 50 or 60 bucks on a bottle, whether it's Scotch or bourbon. And some days I'm just like, you know what? I want to be able to drink freely without having to like scale back. You know, I need to save some of this for tomorrow, or I need to save some of this for another time. Sometimes it's like today is Friday. It's still early. It's probably, I don't know, 8 o'clock in the evening. I'm getting ready to watch a movie. I'm actually getting ready to watch season 2, The Punisher on Netflix. But while I'm doing that, I got some work I got to get done on my computer. So I went with something cheap because I don't really have shit to do tomorrow. And if I'm slightly hungover when I go to the gym, it's completely fine. So I grabbed this bottle. Listen, I grabbed this bottle, and I had no expectations. I expected it to be horrible. I expected it to be basic. I expected it to taste like a cheap fucking whiskey. And I was really surprised that it didn't. I was surprised. The bottle that I'm talking about is this gem right here. This Wild Turkey 101 bourbon whiskey. See a little gobble, 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 gobble on that motherfucker? But look, remember I said like I've been holding on to a pour? Look, this is how much is left. Look at that. I've been hanging on to this little bit for almost 2 weeks, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and pour it and talk about it. Yeah, there we go. Damn, man. So we got Wild Turkey 101 bourbon. I took the price tag off of it, but it was $22.99 for 101 proof. I think it's barreled at 109, and then it's cut down to 101, which, you know, but 101 and 109, yeah, there's a big difference, but for $22.99 and it not being a bottled in bond type 100 proof, that 1% on the, I mean, that one extra proof makes a big difference. So I'll show you this. As you can see the color on it, and maybe it's because of the background that I have and the lighting. Man, it's darker than me. It's a little bit darker. It's a little bit darker than some of the bourbons that I've had. And I think that's because of how they char the barrels. I think the barrels, I think the strongest char is like a number 5. This one was done at a number 4, which gives it a very distinct color, and it also gives it a very distinct flavor profile. So on the nose, I'm getting, and I should know this considering the fact that I've had the bottle for a while, and I've drank it, and I've examined it and studied it, whatever. But on the nose, I'm getting definitely alcohol. Okay, I'm getting that alcohol on the nose immediately. But then there's some sweeter undertones. You got your vanilla, of course, maybe the caramel. There's definitely some spice on the nose and that heat, which I love about high proof bourbons. Fuck it. Okay. Okay. First drink of the day right there, y'all. Okay. Give me a second. All right, so right off the bat, right at the front of the palate, alcohol. It's fine. For somebody that's being introduced to bourbon, maybe this one's not a go-to right off the bat. Maybe an 80 proof would be more their speed, but for somebody that likes a higher proof bourbon, I like that heat right up front. You got some pepper. It's like a spicy, and then you have a little sweetness, a little, I guess, like you definitely can taste the char. So you got your oakiness and your char and your alcohol and your spice. And then over here, you've got your vanilla, your caramel or toffee or something like that. But what they did was, what Wild Turkey did, what those guys did was they were able to take both those extremes, bring them together, and find the perfect flavor balance. For $22, $22.99, it's a really good bourbon to me, and it's really good. It's dry on the finish. It doesn't linger like some bourbons do. It doesn't linger at all. It's got a, I don't know if you can't. I don't know if that'll pick up. Look at my face in the glass. Look, I like the guy from Goonies. But look, it's not oily like, I don't know if you understand what that means. It's like when you do that to the glass, you can see the residuals slowly dripping down. I like that type shit, but I usually go neat, of course. This one I'm probably gonna have to add some water to after I cut this off. Just a splash. I'm having issues with what's it called? Indigestion or heartburn or some shit, whatever. It's old people shit. But maybe not the best introductory bourbon. Like somebody that wants to learn about bourbon, you hit them in the face with 101 proof, cheap ass Wild Turkey 101. It may ward them off unless you splash that ice or splash that little water on there. But for that price, you can't go wrong with it because you can drink it neat, you can drink it on the rocks, you can drink it with a splash of water, you can throw it in cocktails and use as much of it as you want because it's $23 fucking and it has really good quality. I think the Wild Turkey 101 is the flagship brand of Wild Turkey. They have lower proof versions of it, but the 101 is the one. And at that price point, you really can't go wrong with a $23 bottle of Wild Turkey 101. Yeah, I mean, there's it. Look, can you pick it up? Is it $22.99 Wild Turkey 101? Like I said, it is that good. Now, when I went to pick this up today, I was gonna buy some. I went to pick this up, and then when I was in there, I saw my favorite bourbon, which is the E.H. Taylor Small Batch, and then I saw my second favorite, which was the what the fuck, Stag Junior, that comes in like 127 proof or some shit. But I walked out with this. Could I have gotten the other two? One of them at $40, the other one at like $56. Yes, I could have. Did I want to? The owner of the shop says, "Don't worry, I got plenty. Call me when you're on your way." That's the beauty of making friends in the industry. So I went ahead and picked up another bottle. So anyway, that's Wild Turkey 101, ladies and gentlemen. This is Whiskey Wonder. It's Friday night. I'm gonna binge watch The Punisher, and because I'm a comic book nerd, and I'm gonna enjoy a little Wild Turkey, get a little work done, yeah. You guys have a good weekend. I'm not 100% sure that I'm gonna do another review. If I do, it'll probably be in my kitchen, and I'm gonna hit you guys in the face with something new. If anybody has any suggestions as to what they would like to see me review, or anything like that, hit me in the comments. One thing I do want to say is, this is not a professional bourbon or scotch review channel. For those of you who have been with me for a year and 1 month, you guys know that shit. I don't do this. I'm not a professional at this. So I'm just here to hit you with my opinion on certain drams. And if I like it, I'm going to suggest it. If I don't like it, I'm going to tell you why I don't like it, but I'm not going to tell you not to go buy it. If you want something more professional, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of YouTube videos that do reviews. I don't watch them because I don't want my shit to be like other shit. You feel me? So, thanks for everybody. Thanks to everybody that's watching. Thanks to everybody that's commenting. I've got a few of you that I love communicating with in the comments. You guys are really cool. What else? What else did I want to say? Hopefully this year I can bring some new shit. I'm gonna have to go to like Total Wine and see what stuff they have there that my 3 or 4 local places don't have. The thing about Total Wine is they have that glass case with the $200, $300, $400, $1,000, $2,000 bottles, and I wasn't always this good, clean-cut kid. You know what I'm saying? I be wanting to smash your glass and make a run for it, but I digress. I'm not gonna do that shit for some liquor. You know, that's crackhead shit. So sometimes I'm gonna find a $17 bottle that I'm interested in because of the label, and sometimes I'll find a $60, $70, $80 bottle just out of curiosity as to why it would cost so much. Curiosity pays, I guess. All right, curiosity costs, and I have yet to pay a lot of money for a bottle that didn't turn out to be pretty decent. I have paid less money for bottles that taste better than the expensive bottles, and that's the beauty of the reviews. That's the beauty of like doing these things, because a lot of the other channels will probably tell you, you know, you have to spend a lot of money to get quality. That's not the case. That's not the case. Trust me, I've been experimenting for a while. Anyway, my 15 minutes are up. You guys have a good weekend. Stay safe, sip slow. Try the Wild Turkey 101. I'm I should have put a splash of water on that motherfucker right there. But have a good weekend. I'll see you guys the next time. Next time.